And so I use it for both prospecting, but also in my sales cycles as well. So I try and get to know like the SDRs and AEs of the accounts that I'm prospecting as well. So I'm in a deal cycle in as well. So it helps with that as well. But just focusing on prospecting, I will and like don't reach out to every single SDR email, every single SDR, every single AE, because as soon as I get a LinkedIn message from someone or I get an email from someone, like we all share it around. So it's going to become pretty obvious if you're just spamming out a message to everyone. And so try and make it personal. But I will just add SDRs, AEs, whoever it is, on LinkedIn, and I'll just message a few of them. I try and like do it vary between someone who's more new and someone who's a bit more tenured. And I'll be like, hey, can I ask you a random question? And that's it. That's all I'll say. And they'll be like, I've never had someone say no. I've had people not reply to me, but most people reply and they're like, go on. And some people then become a bit more fun. They're like, only if it's really random. And then I have to find a really random question to ask
Google a
them.
random question.
um, but and then I'll be like, look, like being honest, like I'm prospecting your company, and this is the tech stack I had from speaking with whoever last year. Is this still the same? And depending on their response, they might be really blunt and be like, yes or no. Depending on that is whether I keep probing and asking more questions. Most people are open. If people ask me questions, I help. So most people are pretty open. And then I'll ask about their tech stack. I'll start with something really easy, but then I will move on to things like challenges, or I'll say things like, this is the research I've done and this is the hypothesis I've created. Am I completely wrong? And then they might help and like poke holes in it, or they might tell me what the challenge actually is. I will then ask them to introduce me to the person. I'll be like, look, really cheeky ask, but I'm happy to do it from Salesloft side as well. But it sounds like this is a challenge and this is what we help with. Would you mind actually introducing me? If they say no, it's fine. But a lot of the time people say yes. And if they say no, I can then email that person, the prospect the senior prospect, and be like, speaking with some of the team and they've mentioned XYZ being a challenge, Salesloft solves for this. Like, is it worth us chatting? And it goes from guessing a challenge to being 100% certain that this is a challenge using their language as well. It just makes it like such a more sticky or a more replyable email than being like most demand gen leaders struggle with X, Y, and Z. It's like your team have physically just told me that this is a challenge and we solve for this. Is it worth us having a chat?